being here. We didn't come last week, so how are you today?
I'm fine, tired, and looking forward for the weekend. And you?
Yes, I'm okay. I'm a little bit tired myself, but otherwise, I'm okay. No complaints otherwise. I try not to complain. I'll put it that way.
That is something really, really good, actually. I read a book called, oh my god, I cannot remember. I think it's The Secret or something like that. Something about a secret, and it's about complaining less and being more grateful about things. And
Wow.
it
I,
actually changes your life, because uh, we dedicate too much time on complaining for the things we cannot change or the things we do not have or things like that, instead
yeah,
of dedicating the same amount of time and energy on the things we do have and the things we can actually enjoy. So when you start doing that, your life changes. But challenging sometimes, especially when there's certain situations around that you cannot change. It's indeed challenging, but yeah,
yeah.
that's a very good initiative to stop complaining. So
Oh yeah, I definitely try. I have that book here. Actually, it's behind me, but I haven't read it yet, so I got to read it because I heard it's a great book. So yeah.
I do recommend it. I'm not 100% sure if it's The Secret or something from the same author. It's called Ronda Rhymes. I'm going to search for it and look for for that one. But yes, it's
Okay.
something about the magic of gratitude and things like that, and it's kind of good. I do recommend it.
Okay. See, that's right down my alley. That's exactly the kind of books I need to read. So yeah, definitely let me know.
Yes. I will send it to you and also to our friends as soon as I can remember the name.
Yes. So, hello everyone. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Kiafa, or you can call me Key, and I am um, a buyer's agent here with Karina. I am currently residing in Merida, Mexico, and I've been in real estate for about 4 years now. So that's just a little bit about me. You can find me on social media, Quarters by Kiafa. And if you need any advice or if you need any help with anything real estate here in the Merida area, Yucatan, Peninsula, Katina Row, Katina Roo, you can always call me and message me and let me know, and I'm more than happy to help.
You can follow her in her YouTube channel, which is at Kiafa with
At
two
Kiafa,
F.
yes, at
But
Kiafa with two F's.
let me add something. This lady is too modest to say, but in the community, they're calling her the goddess of real estate because she's doing the Lord's work in real estate. So anything you need for relocating, I mean, she will find whatever you ask you need. That's all. I cannot tell you anything else, but that's all.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate all the support. The community here has been very, very warm and very open. So, yes, I'm just humbled by that statement. I try to help everyone that I can. I wouldn't say that I'm, the goddess completely because I may not be able to find what you're looking for, but for the most part, I can help you and I can help you find what you're looking for. So, yeah, thanks, Karina, for putting that out there. You're making me.
I mean, it is what it is. So we have. I know you're not going to bring it up, but I will. So people do not hesitate to contact her immediately if you have the chance for finding a spot in her schedule because she's very busy. So hurry up.
Yeah.
Hello, Gigi. Hello, everyone. I am Karina, and
Hello.
I'm a real estate agent for a long, long time. I'm based in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, which is the Mexican Caribbean. And I'm not a god in real estate, but I will try to help you.
No, Karina is
So,
great, y'all. She's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. So she's
me-
she's literally the GOAT. Like she knows so much about real estate here. It blows my mind. So I only hope to one day be as knowledgeable as she is. So just know she knows her stuff. And you can feel very confident in her and her skills and the people she knows. So yeah, I look up to Karina. I look up to you a lot, actually. So I just hope to one day be as knowledgeable as you, and so that I can help more and more people. So yeah. And she would never tell you guys that. So I had to put that out there as well. She's very humble, but she's great at what she does.
Thank you. We
Really.
say this in Spanish. We say that we are throwing flowers to each other.
Yes, exactly. I had to give you your flowers. Yes.
Exactly. So here's your flowers. But yeah, I mean, those who know me then know that I'm not. I don't know how to say it in English, but I'm not going to say things that are not real just for just for saying something. But it is
Right. Just
it
for
is the
style.
truth. So
Exactly.
what are we going to talk about tonight?
So yeah, today we are going to talk a little bit about just to give you guys a few tips for those of you who are moving here to Mexico. We're going to give you some relocation tips so that you can kind of know, just have an idea of what to expect when you move here, or just have an idea of what you may need or something that you may overlook in the process of moving here to Mexico. So. Um, I will say one thing that I would like to say is be prepared to, if you don't have a place already, be prepared to spend at least 2 weeks in an Airbnb. If you're looking to rent a place, that's just for rentals. I'll get to if you're buying in a little bit, but if you're looking to rent, I would say, especially if you're coming, well, if you're planning on coming to do it on your own, I don't know, you may want to be prepared to reserve a little bit longer, but it just depends on what you're going to do. But be prepared to spend at least 2 weeks in Airbnb. When I came here, thankfully I did have my Airbnb booked for 2 weeks, and then I was able to find a place within that time period. That way, it gives you a couple of days to actually go around and look at places. And then once you find a place, you have to, most of the time, they're going to be scheduling at a notary's office, which is also an attorney. They have to schedule around the notary schedule so that you can actually go into the notary office and sign your documents. And that can take, on average, I'm seeing it take around 3 days on average, business days, for you to actually get into the office to actually sign. And then once you sign, they'll actually go ahead and give you your key to your home, to your new home. So I've seen it take on average 3 days. So it could be two, it could be four, but you do want to have a good period of time to be able to move your things, and just to feel comfortable as well. So because I have a couple of people right now who actually booked an Airbnb, and then they've had to move like twice because they didn't book it for enough time, and they thought they would be able to renew it, but someone else had already booked the Airbnb where they were staying, so they had to leave where they were and go elsewhere. So that's my first piece of advice.
That's very very important because in the Facebook groups, I'm constantly seeing people trying to get everything ready from their hometowns. Like, okay, I'm arriving in the 27th and I would like to rent a house like this and this and this. So they're expecting to start with a rental process before even having arrived to the city. So that's very very important. Just consider to have somewhere to stay because there's a lot of things that can happen before having your rental agreement signed. So that's
Yeah.
a super good tip.
Absolutely. Um, and just to kind of tag on to that, be prepared also to bring pesos if possible to avoid ATM fees and international fees. So back in the States, yes, I was doing real estate, but I was also working in banking as well. And you can go to your bank and tell them that you are going to be going to Mexico or moving to Mexico. The first thing that you want to do is let them know so that they can put a travel notification on your debit card. Because if not, your debit card will be locked out as soon as you get here and try to use your debit card. So make sure you let them know for that reason, and then also tell them you would like to order pesos. They can get pesos. Typically, most banks can have pesos within like probably 2 business days. You'll be surprised at how quickly they can actually get the pesos. They have to order them, and then they can have them sometimes by the next day. So it doesn't take very long. However, I would say make sure that you order them ahead of time just in case there is some sort of a delay. For some reason your bank can't get them for 5 days or a week, then at least you have that leeway just in case. But get pesos, because when you come here, you will be able to use your debit card as long as you've notified your bank and they put the travel notification on. But when you get ready to swipe your card, you will, every single time you swipe that card, there's an international fee associated with each time you use your card. So just keep that in mind. The amount of the international fee varies from bank to bank. And then also, if you're using your card at the ATM, just keep in mind not only are you paying an ATM fee, but you're also going to be paying another international fee, which, in my opinion, when it comes to the international fee, at the ATM, you may want to decline the international fee, accept the ATM fee, decline the international fee, because your bank oftentimes will charge you lesser amount for the international fee than the ATM that you're using. So, for example, with me, with the bank that I have, my international fees at the ATM are not too much. They may be about just a few pennies versus the ATM, which will charge a few dollars. So definitely keep that in mind. And like I said, it's better if you can go ahead and bring pesos with you so that you don't have to worry about those international fees when you get here. And as far as you moving here, I would suggest that if you know that you're going to be getting a rental and you know what your price range is, and you call Kiafa and you told Kiafa, look, this is my price range. This is what I want when it comes to a rental. I can go ahead and tell you, well, this is how much money this is how much in pesos you'll probably want to go ahead and bring with you. And that way, another thing is when you get here, you can only take out so much at the ATMs as well. So some people are having to get their money out of the ATM over a few days. It may take them 2 or 3 days because they reach their max each day. So I can always tell you, hey, well, make sure you're bringing X amount of dollars, which just actually leads me to my next point. You want to make sure that you're prepared to bring, as far as your rental, um, 2 months deposits, first month's rent, and the amount of notary fee, which we may not know exactly what the notary fee is up front, but I can kind of give you a price range of what it could be. A lot of times we don't know the notary fee until we actually choose the home that we want, and then it's based off of the notary that's chosen by that homeowner. So again, you'll be prepared to have 2 months deposits, first month's rent, and the notary fee if you can upon arriving. That way, you don't have to worry about the whole international fee thing or you reaching your max at the ATMs. Okay.
The I would like to add that the notario fee is going to be between 50% and 100% of 1 month of the rental fee, depending on the notario.
Yeah.
It should be 1 month, but some of them are charging a little less. So yeah, it's better to stay on the conservative side. Also, that's important to mention because most of Mexican banks will not allow you to open a bank account if you don't have a residency card. So there are two banks that I know so far that can open a bank account with a tourist. It's not a visa anymore. I think it's called migratory form or something like that. As long as you have a proof of address. So if you're already renting a property or something like that, you can go to CI Banco or also Intercam, and those banks can open you a bank account. At least they were doing that a couple of months ago. I don't know if
Uh-huh.
they're still doing it, but I don't think that it's changed. So you can go, and as long as you have the proof of address, then you can open a bank account. And they also have good exchange rates for you not to be losing money with the exchange rate. So I think in the end you can lose more money with the ATM fees. So consider that there are some options for you to open bank accounts in Mexican banks.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to write here the name of the banks.
Yes. Okay, so this next one, maybe you can help me with, Karina. When it comes to moving here and you're wanting to buy a home, um, as far as that's concerned, we've had a lot of people that were confused and thought that they could, just start the process of buying a home and then they'll be living in the home within like 3 weeks. So, Karina, what would you say for those who are looking to buy a home? Um, how long should they be prepared to either rent a home or stay in Airbnb or move here? Like, because some people want to buy a home, start the home buying process, and then they'll move here. How long would you say that they would need to have a place to live before they actually buy versus renting?
Considering that the house they've chosen is ready for delivery and it's not a pre-sale, then the process from the promissory agreement signing and the down payment deposit until the signing and delivery of the house may take between 6 and 8 weeks. Of course, it will depend on the specific details of each case, because there are, let's say, some developers that will take 2 to 4 weeks after signing the title and paying 100% of the property for delivering the house, because they have to install the carpentry or they have to do certain stuff due to warranties. So it's very, very important that you, if that's your case, that you make sure with your agent, aka us, um, how long it's going to take the process. So my advice in that case would be, first of all, if you have never been in the area you're aiming to relocate, to take a weekend and take a quick trip and just be sure that you're going to do that, because after you purchase the property, then there's no going back. I mean, you can always sell it, but it's not that you're going to have the liquidity like immediately. So come here, spend a weekend, decide, and make sure that you're 100% sure about your next step. Once you've done that, we can start with the process. I mean, that you've already known certain areas, you know what your favorite area is, etc. You probably have the chance for visiting certain properties, and you're sure about that. We can also do the process in the long distance, and that has been happening a lot since the pandemic. We do a lot of closings in the distance. I mean, some people not even know the property until the very date of delivery. So that's possible as well. So yes, consider to stay in an Airbnb or a rental for about 2 months, something like that, at least, because there are a lot of things that can happen, especially since we have to get your permit from the government for investing in establishing the fideicomiso or the bank trust. So yeah, I think we're on the safe side to say 2 months if you are starting the process from zero. If you are let's say that you started the process from your hometown and you're doing everything from the distance, and you're coming here for the signing and delivery, probably 2 weeks is okay for you to furnish the house and maybe at least install the ACs. And then you can bring a, how do you call it, these mattresses that you blow.
Yeah, blow up mattress.
Oh, thank you. Or a hammock or something like that, and then that can be a provisional thing. But yes, if you already have the property and you're coming here from for signing, consider to have a place to stay for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, 2 weeks, 2 months, depending on the case. I hope that answers and it's not more confusing.
Yeah, no, it yeah, it definitely makes sense. Because we do have like a lot of people will think they can go ahead and start the home buying process and then they're prepared to leave, but it's like no, you need to just wait because this process can take a bit longer than actually a rental. So a rental, like I said, 2 weeks you're fine, but like she was saying, 6 to 8 weeks for the Airbnb or wherever you're staying if you are coming here. But a lot of people will start the home buying process wherever they are because it can take so long, and then as time gets closer, they'll go ahead and move, things of that nature. And like she said, if you're buying a home, it's always best to because we can send you homes all day, and you can tell us which ones you like. But it's always best to try to just do a scouting trip so that you can come here, check out the areas. We can go on a school tour. I will go with you to schools in different areas, and we can go on the school tour if you have children. We can actually ride around the area together. I will do that with you so that you can see which areas you like. And once you have an idea of the areas you like, then we can, send you homes in the area that fit your criteria, and then we can kind of go from there. So, we want to make it as smooth and easy as possible. So yeah, thank you, Karina. That was some great advice.
Mhm.
Um, Okay, I think another thing that you will need to make the transition a little bit easier for you is something I wish I had, especially at the airport, is the translator app. Okay? Like if you're not fluent in Spanish, please, before you come, download the translator app. And I say do that before you come because I got in the airport, like I had a layover, I think it was in Mexico City, right?
Yes, I
So
remember.
I had a layover, y'all. It was a hot mess. Like when I went to Mexico City, my flight got there super late and I had a connecting flight. And that flight was I had literally just maybe like 15 minutes to leave one flight and find the next one. And on my ticket, it didn't have what terminal number it was. So I'm trying to, like, I'm panicking. I'm trying to communicate with people inside of the airport. And I'm like, can you please help me? Can someone please help me? And most of them only spoke Spanish, of course. So I was just so frustrated. And then the reason why I say do it before is because my translator app will using Google Translate didn't work because I didn't have any signal in the airport. So I was like, Karina, when I tell you I was so scared, like I was so scared. And then everybody was ended up telling me where they thought I should go, or they were just like, I don't know. So I finally found somebody that spoke English, and he was like, oh, you're supposed to be at this terminal. And I was like, oh man, can you tell me where it is? So he told me where it was. And he was like, oh, and ma'am? And I was like, yeah. He was like, you might want to run. I was like, oh, so I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like running through the airport with my bags and stuff. And it was very interesting. So yeah, definitely if you're not fluent, I would say make sure you have that app. So just in case, you never know what can happen. Because for me, had things gone smoothly and my terminal number was on my ticket, I could have just asked, I know some Spanish. I know how to say in Spanish, like donde es mi, I could ask them. But, hey, so just make sure you have that translator app is one thing that I would say. Um, I would also say for people who are coming to move here, like 6 months or longer, bring with you a lot of patience because you have to remember that you're moving to a new country and it's completely different here. Not completely different, but there are a lot of things that are different. And so a lot of people are used to, like in the States, the level of service that you get in the US, to be honest, is unrealistic everywhere. And so that level of service that we get in the states is not necessarily what it is here when it comes to things. So if somebody's supposed to be coming to fix something in your home, and they say they're going to be there a certain day at a certain time, and they're not, it's going to take a lot of patience for you to realize that, hey, that's just how it is here. They may not be here today. They may not be here tomorrow.
Maybe
You
neither.
know, but this is Mexico, and this is how it is. So you have to have a lot of patience, so that you're still kind and you're not being rude, and you're being more understanding. So I would have to say, please bring patience with you. Correct, Karina, because I know I've had certain issues, and she was like, you told me you were like, okay, well, yeah, like basically, welcome to, welcome to Merida. Like that's just how it is. Things are slower here. People take their time more, to do what they have to do and get to where they have to go. Just think of it as like a leisurely Sunday drive, where it's like a beautiful Sunday, and you're just driving, and cruising down the street, just enjoying and taking everything in. Just imagine it like that here. Yeah. So
There's a term we have in Spanish. I was born in Mexico City, so it's one of the biggest, largest cities on the world. It's the population is like more than 24 million or something like that. So you can imagine the pace in there. So in the center of the country, there's a saying, if that's correct, that refers to people taking their time for doing everything. They say campechanear, like the state, like the other state of the peninsula. And I never understood why they would be referring to someone who was taking their time for doing stuff or doing stuff slowly. They would say that that person was campechaneando. When I moved to Campeche, I understood that. So Campeche is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful state. There's a lot of history in it. It was a pirate's cave, actually, and Campeche, the capital of Campeche, is actually one of two walled cities along Quebec City. So it's amazing, super beautiful. You have to go visit it once. But you're driving, and this pedestrian, how do you call it? Like pedestrian bumps, like the big bumps for pedestrians to cross. So they are crossing super slowly with the sun at midday. So in that very moment, I understood what Campechaner meant. Like super slowly. They were even tying their shoelaces in the middle of the pedestrian cross. So it was like, okay, I'm understanding this. So this is the things that you're going to find, especially if you move to Merida, because Merida is more localist and they have very, I don't know how to, like rooted. I don't know if that's correct. Like very strong root. I don't know if I'm saying the wrong thing, but what I'm trying to say is that their traditions and uses are very deep, like deep roots.
Oh, very
So
traditional.
exactly.
Very traditional.
So they have a different way to do everything. So you have to bring a lot of patience with you.
Yeah, yeah. Please, please do. Please be patient, and kind. There are sometimes, I hate to say this as an American, but a lot of times there'll be other Americans that will come and just be rude and nasty. Because the lines are a little bit longer, in Walmart, or it takes a little bit longer for you to get to the register, and it's just like, let's just realize you do have to be patient here, and you just have to realize you're somewhere different. Because I'm telling you, there's so much that's still so beautiful about Mexico, and to me, the benefits outweigh anything else. So you just have to kind of weigh what you like here. Some people can't take it and they end up moving back, but at the same time, I say still be patient and be as kind as possible. So that was another piece of advice. If I had another one, I would say be prepared as far as the driving is concerned. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the driving scared the heck out of me. Like, even now, sometimes I catch myself like, like I'm just like, oh my god, we almost got hit. Especially here in Merida, because they have the big like roundabouts, and the roundabouts have like sometimes like 4 lanes. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, how do they know which vehicle is going to keep straight out of the roundabout or keep going around? And it's like people are trying to move over at the same time. So I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? And then like the signs that I'm used to seeing in the States that are actually stop signs, I'm thinking that here they really do have to stop, but it's like, no, if nobody is coming, it's really just like a yield sign. So you can really, if nobody's coming, you can keep going. Meanwhile, I'm thinking we're gonna stop, and the driver's just going. So I'm like, oh snap! So I'm looking around like, okay, we didn't get hit. Okay, cool. I'm still alive, but just be prepared for the driving. Let me just say that you got to get used to the driving here.
It reminds me, a while ago, a few months ago, I was on Montreal, and I rented a car for going upstate, and I got warned, like, be careful because drivers in Montreal are known for their aggressivity in the car. And I was like scared, like, okay, I think I can handle that. I mean, I drive in Playa del Carmen. There's nothing more aggressive. Well, probably in Mexico City or in Paris, but yes, I mean, Playa del Carmen has terrible driving. It's like if you're taking the worst drivers from every single corner in the world and put them in one place. So this is it. So yes, and also Merida has a very different. I have the feeling that in Merida they're more respectful about the driving rules, if that's a word.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
they
Very
are never
defiant.
over speeding. Actually, when I go there and I'm driving on the periférico, it's like, come on, hurry up! We're driving like 100 kilometers per hour. You can go faster. but there's limits. So people is not over speeding because the police is very strict there. So I think they are a bit more prudent in Merida than, for example, here in the Riviera Maya. Here
Oh,
is
yeah,
chaotic.
like that's something, but I haven't seen very many speed limit signs here though. I have to say
No,
I don't see very many speed limit. Like in the US, it's gonna be a speed limit sign every like couple of miles. You're gonna see the sign. But like here it's not anywhere near as many. So I remember I was with someone, they were like, what's the speed limit on this road? I'm like, I don't know. It was no signs, but that's a good analogy for people who are thinking about moving to Playa versus Merida. What she just said about the difference in the driving. So yeah, that's some good advice. Yeah, I don't know. For me personally, people are like, "Oh, when are you gonna drive? Are you ever gonna drive?" I'm like, I need to be here for at least maybe a year before I actually attempt to drive here. But that's just me personally because I want to make sure that I understand some of the rules that I'm not used to. So, but I think I need to just do it. Like at this point, I had one of my clients, she had a rental car and she took me around and she was like, yeah, um, this is how you do this and this is what that means. So basically, I think I'm at the point now where maybe I'll do it. I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep y'all posted on it. How about that?
maybe next episode can be like, come on, let's drive with Kiafa in Merida.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So let's see how that goes. I might scare all of y'all, but
Yeah, I'm going to be distracting you with the phone. Like, what do you think about this roundabout?
oh no.
No, something I have to warn you as well is that I've been driving since I think since I was 12 or something like that, which is 25 years of my life. And I've had like two or three crashes, but the worst one was this year, actually in February. It was in Merida because I was, there are like so many neighborhoods with, I have the perception of Merida being well traced. It's all square. So I the streets are wide, so you have a lot of space. But sometimes you don't know which street has the priority.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
that's something about guessing. And I skipped a stop sign that was in the middle of the block instead of in the corner. And
Yeah.
then a pickup was overspeeding and it hit me like 70 kilometers per hour. I don't know how much is that in miles. So it was a bad crash. And
Wow.
it happened in Merida, actually, where they are known for being like slower drivers. So just be very, very careful, especially if you're not driving in the periférico. If you're driving in the city, in the neighborhoods, just slow your speed in every corner
Yeah.
because there are many, many corners without the sign. So sometimes you don't
Mhm.
know which street has the priority. So be careful.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely be careful at the intersections, even if the drivers are blowing their horn, because sometimes if you slow down at the intersections, they will lay on the horn
Yes.
like just like look, just gotta be cautious no matter what. So okay, so yeah, definitely. You guys, that's another tip for you. And one other tip that I had was something I wanted to let you guys know because I didn't know this. When I got here, I flew into Merida's airport, but just know you also have the option to fly into Cancun as well. And then you can go from Cancun to here. Now, I do know that there's a train that they are currently that's currently being built so that people can actually take the train from like Cancun to here and all around. So I think I heard that's supposed to be done like in December. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So, but just know that if you're coming like before December, or before that train, you do have the option to, you need to prepare if you are going to fly to Cancun to either have a driver to come get you or to take the bus. They do have the ADO, audio buses, ADO. So they have those buses that will take you from Cancun's airport to here in Merida. So just know that I didn't know that there was an option to do that. A lot of people would do that because the tickets, the flights are so much cheaper. Like they'll be hundreds of dollars less to fly into Cancun because Cancun is more of an international airport. So just know that you need to be prepared for that. There are drivers here in Merida that will actually come and get you. So if you don't want to ride the bus, or even when the train is there, if you don't want to do that, there are drivers here that will do it for you. But keep in mind, there are tolls that will have to be paid because they do have to go through tolls, and that's what a lot of the drivers are telling me. So you'll be paying for those. So yeah, be prepared for that if you do fly into Cancun. I know that like just straight driving from Cancun straight to here is like 4 hours. But like if you take the bus, just look at the time because sometimes they may have to take 1 or 2 stops and then they head here, so it can take a little bit longer.
And also consider that there's 1 hour difference. Although
Oh
we
yeah,
are geographically in the same time zone, we are not in the same time zone. So right now here in Playa del Carmen, it's 9 p.m. and in Merida it's 8 p.m. So there's a lot of confusion about times when you're living in Merida and you're flying from Cancun.
yeah,
Then consider that extra hour because you may be late, and that's not
yeah,
something.
yeah. Definitely keep that in mind. Yeah, for sure. So
Also, another thing about the tolls, it's about 600 pesos. I mean, it's an expensive drive.
oh,
So it's 270 kilometers, and there's two tolls, and it's about 600 pesos. So, but the highway is in excellent conditions. I mean, it's worth driving it. I was there when it was like 2 weeks ago, something like that.
yeah, like 2 weeks. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I don't drive super fast. And actually, I was driving at night, and also it was raining. And I took 3 hours and a half from Playa del Carmen to Merida. So it's in a very, very good condition. The construction is almost over. So yeah, it's worth driving. You can be safe driving at any time in the day.
Okay, awesome. That's good to know.
In case you want to rent a car.
Yes, because there are a lot of people that come and rent vehicles. So yeah, if you rent a vehicle, then just know that it's a nice smooth road. So just be prepared to pay those tolls, like she said, and bring pesos with you if you can. But if you can't, it's no big deal. You can, if you have USD or another currency, you can exchange it at the airport, and then there are multiple exchange places within the city that you can go as well to exchange your cash.
Hey,
So,
Jason, I haven't seen your message.
what up, Jason? Hey. Jason is one of our favorite clients, you guys, right now. We love Jason. He's very nice, and he doesn't make fun of us if we make mistakes or like if we get too silly or whatever the case may be. He just rolls with the punches with us. So
Yeah, we have like the same kind of humor, so it's super good to be in house hunting with them, Jason and
yes,
Jill.
yes, Jason and Jill. So absolutely. So yeah, I don't know. Did you have any other tips or anything or any other advice?
I think
Um,
I would always advise people to learn the language, uh,
yes.
especially. I mean, we are in the again in the same geographic zone, less than 300 kilometers away from Merida and Riviera Maya are very, very different. So Playa del Carmen is super international. Like I've mentioned before in all episodes, I've met people who's been living here for 15, 20 years and they don't speak Spanish.
Oh wow.
Most of locals speak English here. So as a foreigner who doesn't speak Spanish, it's not going to be like super hard for you to adapt since you're going to be understood and you're going to understand others. But when it comes to Merida, the story is completely different because the immigrant community is growing recently. So it's not like it's big. Probably it's getting bigger now, but it's still growing. So if you go to a coffee shop, if you go to the supermarket, to the vet, to a doctor or something like that, probably they won't speak English. So try to speak Spanish. Besides
Absolutely.
being good for you to be understood and to understand, it's always going to be good for your mental and physical brain health. So it's never an extra thing to learn the language. So that's very, very advisable and recommendable. And plus Spanish is a beautiful language. So it's good.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, absolutely. And I will say this, even for those of us who took like 2 years of Spanish in high school, I know I'm not in the same, like, I know I'm not the only one in that boat. Some of us only know high school Spanish, so we just know the basics. Don't be afraid, like I was, to use that because, the locals really, really appreciate it when we do at least try and attempt to speak whatever Spanish that we do know. They're very friendly, they're very understanding, and they love it when we try to speak Spanish because they appreciate the fact that we're actually trying, because we are guests in this country. If you're coming as a foreigner, like you are a guest in this country. So it's only natural. I'm currently taking Spanish lessons. And so it's like I knew some Spanish coming here and I was afraid to use it, but I had one of my friends that was like, you should do it, like you should, because it'll actually it'll strengthen the Spanish that you do know, and the more you use it, the better you get, and the more you pick up on as well. So thankfully, I'm around a lot of Spanish speaking people, so I'm able to pick up, on it more and more, as you will too when you come. But definitely, I agree with that. Learning the language is very important. If you can start before you get here, even if you can start on the apps. I had people that tried to detour me from the apps because it's like, oh no, you're learning Spain Spanish, not like Mexico Spanish. And it's just like, well, that it's still Spanish. So you'll still be understood when you get here, even if it's, what they call proper Spanish. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like if they were saying, "Oh, you are learning British English instead of American English." I mean, you're going to be understood and you're going to understand. So it doesn't matter which one, but just try to learn. You're going to fall in love with the language. So and Kiafa is doing great with Spanish. Actually, if you watch it, recent video tours, you will see her
Oh
uh,
Lord.
speaking certain words in Spanish.
Throwing it out there, yeah. Yeah, throwing it out there. So maybe I'll incorporate that more and more into our showings. Which, by the way, if you don't know, we do have new videos that are out right now on the House by YouTube channel. So make sure that you check those out. And we have a lot more to come as well. So just stay tuned, and you'll see we have more and more homes coming to show you guys. There's a lot of new developments and a lot of new homes here in Merida. And then also Karina has, other homes that she shows as well in other states too, besides just here. So it's not just here in Merida. There's Playa, there's Cancun, there's, a lot of other areas as well. So
We're everywhere.
yeah.
Though there was a client who was asking us if we could handle something in Querétaro, but no. Unfortunately, our knowledge doesn't go that far yet. Yeah, we have enough with three states, so just stay here in Campeche, Yucatan, or Quintana Roo. You're going to be more than welcome, and we're waiting for you to make it your new home.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're waiting. So let us know if you need anything. Let us know if you have questions. You can reach us. We're on all social media sites and we are here to help.
Exactly. Don't forget about contacting us in any. You can find us in any platform like housebuy.mx. You can find Kiafa, Quarters by Kiafa.
Mm-hmm.
So you can contact us. Kiafa is an expert on relocation, and she will take you by the hand with everything. And we can help you with all the situation in real estate. Also, there's another thing. Kiafa is doing rentals in Merida. So remember, there's a fee to pay for rentals because
Yeah.
it requires a lot of time, and
Mm-hmm.
she's going to protect you in every single detail. If you haven't read our blog about rental agreements, or you haven't watched our episode about rental agreements in Merida, go
Definitely.
now and do it, because then you will understand every single detail you need to know.
Right.
Why? You will understand why you need to have a realtor covering your back, especially when renting a property in Merida. So that's
Yeah.
why,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically.
Absolutely. A lot of people want to know, why do I charge a fee for rentals? It's a lot that goes into rentals. I have to do a lot. So, and I should be compensated. At the end of the day, nobody wants to do a lot of hard work for free. So, yeah. So that's that. But I do my best to give you the best of service, and I'm here for you. The whole relocation. It's not just finding you a home. I do the whole relocation service thing. I will meet you at the airport if you're flying into Merida. If you're flying into Cancun, I will get you a driver to come pick you up in Cancun if you would prefer that. Like I said, I'll take you on school tours. We will ride around different areas to see what areas you like. I will recommend just different stores, restaurants, whatever in your area. If you're wanting a Spanish speaking teacher, I can recommend that. You need someone to, come and clean your pool every other week or whatever the case may be. Whatever kind of services you need, I am actually here and I do the whole nine for you. So yeah, that's that. And I am happy and I am ready to help. So do not hesitate to reach out. Even if you just have questions, don't hesitate.
And if you have questions, go to the other episodes about the frequently asked
Oh
questions.
yeah,
That's kidding. we can
do
we can
that as
always
well.
solve your questions. So, is there anything else you would like to add when it comes to relocating to Merida, or well, basically to this side of Mexico?
Nothing. Just be ready. Prepare for the heat. If you're moving to Merida, be prepared for the heat. For those who live in the states, when I got here, it was around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and it got up to 107. So just be prepared for that if you're moving here. So that's another thing.
And
I
maybe
think
not to move in summer. No, probably not the best idea.
yeah, if you don't like the heat, then you may not want to move in the summer. But I like the heat, so I was okay. But yeah, just know it will be hot.
Thanks a lot. Yes, actually, I don't know if we talked about in the last episode when we were together in Merida, but I was telling Kiafa that she's actually made it through her first summer. So this is the summer, the first summer you spent here on this side of Mexico is like a survival test. It's a summer that is actually trying to kill you. So if you made it to autumn, then you
Yeah.
can consider yourself a survivor, and you've made it to the
Yes.
final boss.
Exactly. I'm a survivor, just like Destiny's Child. I'm a survivor, y'all.
Exactly.
I made the heat, and I actually made it through rainy season because right after that, there's rainy season where it rained pretty much every day. I made it through the mosquitoes. Like I made it, and definitely the heat. That was the most important thing. So yeah, I'm starting to feel, right at home, right at home now. So I'm proud of myself for that because that heat was something, especially when you're out showing homes. Now that's when I did not enjoy. I don't mind the heat, but when you're out showing homes and you're just walking throughout neighborhoods like we were doing at times, we're making videos. I'm having to pretend like I'm all chipper and happy. Hi, welcome to another episode. Meanwhile, it's sweat. I'm just drenched in sweat. Like, oh my god, we're on like the third or fourth house.
With no
But
breakfast, no coffee,
yeah,
no
no food.
water.
About to die out here in these Merida streets. But but I'm still here. So, and I'm happy to be here for
Your
sure.
your final test is going to be the helades. Have you heard about that?
The what?
Helades.
No. Oh
It's
gosh.
the Yucatecan cold.
Oh, that. Okay. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it can drop
I'm sure
to
that's nothing.
maybe as low as 10 Celsius. I don't know the conversion to Fahrenheit, uh, but it's
See?
it's cold. I mean, for us coast people,
Yeah.
anything under 30 Celsius is going to be cold. So we're going to be using our winter clothes, maybe snow boots, things like that.
Yeah. I've already. It's gotten into the 70s here at night. It'll get to like 72, 73, and I've seen people like in boots and coats and everything, sweaters, and then the other day was, I think it was like in the low 80s, like high 70s, and I walked out and I got in the car with the driver, and I was like, yeah, it's cooling down here now. And he was like, yeah, it's cold now. It's really cold. And I was like, really? This is cold? Like 79 degrees is cold? But so to me it's fascinating. Like it's just so I think it's gonna feel good. I think once it gets, I heard that the coldest it gets as far as Fahrenheit was maybe in the 60s, as far as Fahrenheit is concerned. And I think that's gonna feel great to me. It's gonna feel good. So I'm sure I'll get through that easy peasy, no problem.
I hope you survive the Yucatecan winter. Jason has just told us the conversion from 10 Celsius to Fahrenheit, then it's 50 degrees. So that's cold. That's
50,
cold for
yeah,
us. We're,
yeah.
we're almost dying.
That's cold. Yeah, I can say that. I'm from the South, so I'm originally from Alabama. So yeah, once it gets to be like 50, for me that's a little chilly. I will say that, but I'll survive that with no problem. I'm used to 30s, 20s at times, so yeah, it'll be okay.
You'll make it.
Oh yeah, easy, easily.
In March, we will celebrating that you've survived the Yucatecan winter.
Yes, yeah, and then we'll celebrate that. So stay tuned. It's coming in
Maybe
a
we
few
can
months.
start making bets like will Kiyafa survive the Yucatecan winter? Will she made it to 50 degrees?
Right? Yeah. Let's see. I got this.
Okay. So I think that's all for tonight, or you have another tip for adding to our
No, I
program?
think that's it for tonight. Maybe we'll come back and we'll do some more. But I think that's it for tonight. So, if you guys that are watching and you've already moved here, if you have any ideas or anything, any tips that you can give, make sure that you comment it down below and it help other people as well that are moving here. That would be greatly appreciated.
Share as much as you can.
Absolutely. That's it.
Well, thank you all for watching, and
Thank
thank you to
you.
the ones that are going to be watching this later. Thank
Yes.
you, Key. Thank you,
Thank you
Jason.
guys so much. And
Gigi.
thank you, Karina. And we hope you guys have a wonderful night. And
Almost weekend.
yes, almost the weekend. It's almost Friday. So hang in there. We got it. Thank you, Gigi.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.
Bye.
Over and out.
And out.